Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with API for the pals. So what did we do last time? Well, last time, I remember we got our data. And as you can see, this looks exactly like how we want it to look. It did take a long time to mine this and fix all the errors. But now that we got everything here, we should start designing like what kind of features we want and what we really want this API to be about. So let's some notes here. So the main thing that we really want to do is be able to get information about a PAL. So what kind of PALs do we want, right? That's what the type of things we want. So we definitely want a GET request. And we want to get requests for a PAL, right? For PALs. And we want to do that from PAL probably by a bunch of different ways. We can start with ID, though that's probably not going to be a common thing. So something like this, a GET request, we have a URL at this point, and then an endpoint like this. So how else do we want this to do? We definitely want to be able to query some things too. So for example, well, this will be like this, but we want to do it all path, it PALs like this, right? So let's try this. Start with this endpoint, PALs/ID. Well, let's not use emojis. This will also give a singular PAL. The next thing we want is name, right? Want to be able to query things, so we want to do name, yeah, names. Let's see, work suitability, types. Like we want to be able to query things for our PAL, and there's a lot of different attributes we can query. So I don't think do stat. Oh no, stats that could be useful. So we also want to include stats. Just okay. Drops. Not sure how important drops is. And partner skill, probably not. Nobody's gonna search for partner skill, so that doesn't really make sense. Entry. This could be useful in a way. Search by entry. It could be useful. Could be useful. That could be something we want to add later down the line, but we do want to stick with the to get the base items first, base features. An image. Okay, so that looks like what we have right now is like this. We might also want the sort feature. So sorting could be ascending or descending, right? But we don't really know what we sort it by. Probably sort by stats. But for now, I just want like something minimum. We definitely want to be able to get PALs by ID and PALs by name. That's probably the biggest feature we want. And what kind of requests we want on here is mainly the GET request. I don't really see any reason to have other requests. Well, I take the back. No. For users, we don't really need that, but because if it was me, I would just manually add a JSON or create some internal functions to do that. But it will be only limited to the owner, so it doesn't make sense to need any put request or post request. So yeah, that's how we're starting this. And eventually, right, we want to expand this to do structures and some other stuff to get items. But let's just start with the basics. So this is the basics, right? All right. Let's set up a new project. I want to do this in Visual Studio Code because that's something that most people use. And it is a very common tool for coding. So let's get this started. Actually, let's make a new folder. Cool. So I already made a space for this so that we don't have to go through the hassle of going through all that setup. And this is what we're starting with. Okay, so I'm not super familiar with Express, so I'm gonna have to Google a bunch of docs over here. Let's see how we wanna set this up. Express. I have used it a little bit, but I mean nothing too deep. Yeah, so we start with getting the app from Express. So Express, I believe this is how you get the app. Looks like it's auto typed. And sure. Just I don't think we need to do that. Because it looks like it auto detects it. So we don't need to type that. Anyway. So let's see. We want to do dot get on an app, right? That's the method that we want. Let's see. There's also options, which I don't know 100% how this works. Ooh, okay. It's middleware, that's what this is. We don't need that just yet, so also you can use environment files, which is what we're looking for. But we're gonna do that later. Let's just look at the basic startup. App.get. So let's just copy this and do this. And I do have a .env in here. So if I remember, we can load this somehow. Or that I think that auto import, so we don't need to try that. And just to make sure, right, we want to set this up first. Let's listen to it for it. Let's listen to, so it takes a port and a callback. So let's just start with some random port. And then we want a callback, which is like this. And let's just do listening on port. Let's put a $sign in front, or not $sign. What's it? This thing? And then we can put the sign and say ports. Oh, we don't have to ask port. Okay. So if we run this, right? Oh yeah, I don't remember how you run this actually. So, I believe. No. You just run it like a normal file, but we can use this and it should run. So it's node and then whatever that's in there. Okay. But did it? Oh, we don't have the listening. So we need a way to watch our changes, which I don't remember how that works. All right, let me look this up. Not 100% sure. Maybe this is how it works. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So it looks like this is happening, and we need to somehow be able to get this right. I think this is running on localhost. We need Postman to actually get this, but for now we can just go for localhost. Let's see if we get anything back. Oh, let's go. So we have that set up. Yeah, we definitely need to get Postman in here. Let me sign in. Browser. Okay, now we're signed in. We should definitely make a new workspace or not, whatever. Let's remove this. Create workspace. Blank workspace. So let's call it. We're just using this so that we can make requests to our local host. There we go. Now we can add whatever we want. Make a new collection. And let's add a new request. So for now, we're just gonna do something like this. Oh, set an environment. And we want, let's do localhost. Just do your base URL. We want this to be local host. And let's do 3000. Save that. Environment. Localhost. And now we can do localhost. Do this URL, environment to localhost, and do base URL. And if we send a GET request, we should be able to get hello world. Look at that. So now we have that set up. What's next? I think we can start adding our files in here. Hold up. Anyway, so let's stop the server for now. Somehow. Let's cancel this. I think the way that you want to actually do this is you want to do node dist index.js, and then okay, that's how you do it. All right, so let's add in our data, which we should have in here. I'm gonna copy this. Yeah. And we might want to make another directory. A folder. Let's call it. We could call it data. Not the best naming, but let's just put it in here. And now we can. All right, let's see. Let's open that JSON file and return that actually. So JavaScript. We need to load in a JSON file. And let's see how we do that. So it's just JSON dot how do you load a JSON file? I think just dot parse. So let's say let data equals JSON dot parse. I want to parse I don't. Oops. So how does this work? I think it's slash d dot slash data. Not 100% sure how it knows where my last things are. Shit. I think that's how it could be. No, that can be right. It looks for a string. We want to be able to read that in. So let me look at that. Oh, can we just import it? So it's like import. I'm just guessing. Yeah, there's no way this is right. Yeah, there's no way this is right. Let's Google this again. Import from import or so we can read this file in. So that was a little more complicated than I thought, but I think this is actually doable. We can read and parse JSON file myself. There's no library that just does that, like in Python. Leverage CommonJS. I don't really like CommonJS. Import assertions are the way to go. Probably want maybe the first way. So we need file systems apparently. Promises, and we can create a JSON by looking at our what is import.meta.url. That's something I've never seen. But you know, we always just copy and paste like normal developers do. Oops. Let's see. Our only allowing module is set to. So this isn't doable. What? Why is it so hard to JSON file? I don't really want to use require, but if I have to use require, then I don't really have a choice, do I? Only allowed used within. There is no way this is how you do this. Let's see what Stack Overflow says, because they probably got a better idea. Turn on JSON module importing. Or JSON.parse file manually. You can always just use, okay. So we either have to use require or we parse it manually. Looks like, let's just try parsing it manually. Because maybe that'll work. Dang, okay. I mean, you always learn something new. And we want to import refile think. That's a thing? Must be doing something wrong. The argument type buffer is not assignable to parameter type string. Huh. Really, really confused. I really want this, but it's not assignable to type string. It wants a buffer file. It says it wants a path or the file descriptor, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. And oh, it could be because of this. So let's do this first. Maybe we can do this, and then we want slash. Not 100% sure where data is from, but I think it's like this. And I don't know what this returns, because it doesn't tell me anything. Okay, it returns a buffer. Oh, that's what was giving it an error. So, is there a way to change that buffer to a string? Dang, why is it so difficult? Maybe it's just easier just to do this. I should probably learn how to read a file, right? Because none of this is actually working. What the heck? Only allowed ES module is ES 2020, 2022. Wait, I mean, if we look at this, right, we are at target ES 2016. It does say it's common GAS, which, you know, justify what module it generated. Okay. All right, let's just Google how to read a file in Node. This is a lot harder to Google than I thought it would be. Read a file in Node. I mean, so most of this is correct. The not sure where the file path is. And we want to let this be data, gives me a buffer. So let's just comment everything out and console.log data. Let's see what that gives us, right? No such directory as. Okay. So it looks like, let me do this. It gives me a buffer, which we don't really want a buffer. Is there any way for it to return the right thing? Try that. There we go. So now it's not returning a buffer now. Turning a string. Okay, so it's overloaded to return a string if you tell it what type of encoding you want. That makes a lot more sense. Which means now we can do something like this. So JSON dot parse this, and we should be able to print this or console. You know, Python programmers do stuff like this. It's harder to change habits, But let's see if we can get JSON. Let's go. Look at that. It's working exactly like how I want it to look. Oops. So now that we have this, we have our data, which really should be called like PAL.json or something. And we can return this in our application. Something like All right, my bad, my bad. I'm back. All right, I'm back. So what I want now is like a way to query this JSON, and there's probably some packages out there in here. So let's look at some packages. npm packages for JSON query. Isn't it something like jQuery? I feel like jQuery is the same. I don't think that's what that jQuery means. But anyway, I'm going off topic. For JSON query, retrieve values from JSON for binding, blah, 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 deep queries. Let's see how this works. People, country, name. JSON query. This looks like the tool that we need. Though I don't really like it syntactically because it's written in complete strings, meaning that there's no real type checking for this. And it's not the best ideal situation. So let's look for, let's see if somebody else knows a better solution for this. Query JSON. And node. I mean, there is filter, but that's not 100% what I'm looking for. I mean, I could write the logic, but why reinvent the wheel? Might want to do a little bit of research into this. I could use JSON query, the one I just saw, but we don't really know. There's GraphQL. I definitely remember this, but this is way advanced, right? It's actually needing for a database. Compare to your API. Get exactly what you need. Yeah, GraphQL is. So I mean, not 100% sure where. I mean, this is probably saving it on a server, on a database that I don't really have that much control into. I don't think I want an entire server for my stuff. So this isn't what I'm looking for, but I do love the syntax for GraphQL compared to some other options that may exist. Anyway, so I think this is all for today. I'll try to find some answers for querying JSONs off screen. And yeah, I think next time we should be able to develop a little bit more of our API. Want to get more get endpoints and get basic functionalities in there. But yeah, that'll be it for today. And I'll be seeing y'all later. Hopping off.